we haven't had the experience of like we got pregnant for the first time and like everything worked out beautifully. This pregnancy has already been really scary. Is there a heartbeat? Tell me there's a heartbeat. Is there a heartbeat? I had to have miscarried. All of a sudden there was a baby. I want everything to be okay. Adjusting. Hello. Today is a super huge day. We are going to our ultrasound appointment where they're gonna be, it's the 20 week, even though I'm only 19 and I think 3 days at this point. Yeah. But we are gonna be gone on the week that I am 20 weeks. So they agreed to do it a little bit early. And I'm just getting ready because we have to go soon. They're gonna be doing like all the checks and checking to see what the gender of our baby is. Like really hoping everything goes okay. Kind of getting nervous because everybody's asking if I'm feeling the baby yet, and I've only felt it like 2 or 3 times. So I'm really, I don't know. It's kind of starting to make me worried. In the beginning it didn't really make me that worried, but now it's kind of like I just want everything to be okay. This pregnancy has already been really scary, and yeah, I haven't really talked about that on here yet. I miscarried 10 years ago, and I got an IUD put in because I realized like I'm not really ready to be a mom yet, and I didn't feel like I was with the right person to start a family with at that point. We ended up breaking up not very long after that, and yeah, the beginning of this pregnancy was pretty smooth, and then around 6 weeks I started getting some nausea, and we ended up going on a trip to California right after that with my niece. And while we were there, we met up with Brian's friends and like all of his old co-workers that he's really close with, and we were at a party with them, and I felt kind of wet and I went to the bathroom and there was blood everywhere, and then I felt something drop into the toilet, and just like started instantly crying and like freaking out, and had to have someone grab Brian to meet me outside so we could leave. And I genuinely thought that I had a miscarriage, and then 2 weeks later my mom called me, and she didn't know that I was pregnant, but she knew that I had miscarried. And she called me and she's like, hey, you know, like she just wanted to talk, and I'm like, I'm really not feeling good. And she asked me what was going on, and at the point that she called, I had a really bad headache and felt super nauseous to the point, like it wasn't, I don't even think it was a migraine. It was like, I mean, sorry, it wasn't a headache, it was a migraine. It was really bad. Where's my mirror? Sorry, I'm still finishing getting ready, so I'm gonna put on some mascara while I'm chit-chatting with you guys. I haven't been wearing eyeliner for a while. I just feel like I'm so tired of my eyes freaking out and like crying, and then my makeup going everywhere. Just so frustrating. Anyways, so I told her what I was feeling like, and she's like, are you sure you're miscarried? And I'm like, yeah, Mom, I had to have miscarried. Like I felt it come out of me. And she's like, tell me everything that happened, because hadn't really like chatted about it that much. So I told her everything that happened and like how long I bled for, and she's like, I think you need to call your midwives immediately and have them schedule an emergency ultrasound because it doesn't sound right. Oh, why is the lighting so poor? Okay. So I did and told them everything that happened, and they're like, yeah, that sounds really weird. But at that point I hadn't become, like, I had had a consultation with them and I told them that I wanted to work with them, but they weren't scheduling like the initial appointment and blood draw and everything until I think like some point after that. I had it scheduled, but they hadn't officially considered me their client, and then with thinking that I had miscarried, they totally took me off their books. So they're like, I think you should get a hold of your OB and have them schedule an immediate ultrasound. Since you're already a client with them, they could get you in a lot faster. And because of the hospital, or not the hospital, but the clinic that I work with, they actually have machines there, so they can schedule like that day if there's an emergency. So I called them and told them what happened, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't really sound right. We'll get you in today for an emergency ultrasound. And I called back the midwives and told them that they had scheduled me in, and they're like, I really don't want to get your hopes up. You know, with all the things that you say happen, it's totally possible that you had a miscarriage and that maybe your body is just still having high levels of HCG in it, and that's just like still showing pregnancy symptoms. But there also could have been the possibility that you had twins and you lost one, or some other things that could have happened. So I went to that appointment, and they initially tested my urine and like did a pregnancy test in it, and they're like, yep, it's still showing that you're pregnant, but let's wait to do the ultrasound. Like, there's reasons that it could still be showing. So again, don't want to get your hopes up. Everybody was saying that. So I mean, even on the drive there, Brian and I were talking, and I'm like, how are you feeling about it? He's like, I don't know, how are you feeling? And I'm like, I think that with everything that happened, I had to have miscarried. Like, to have lost that much blood, to have felt something come out, like I had to have miscarried. So we got in there for their ultrasound, and they're like going around, and it looked like nothing was in there. Like, it was just like, I don't know, like an empty room. And then all of a sudden there was a baby, and I was like, is there a heartbeat? Tell me there's a heartbeat. Is there a heartbeat? Because I seriously thought that I miscarried. So she's like, hold on, let me try to find the heart. She's like, found the heart. Yep, there's a heartbeat. Do you need to hear it? And I'm like, yeah. Of course I need to hear it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so anyways, I feel like we have a bit of a miracle baby, even though it wasn't a miracle. Like, I ended up having a hemorrhage, which the type of hemorrhage that I had was pretty normal for people to get. And it's where the placenta partly detaches, and there's all that tissue that comes out, and then it'll reattach. So everything reattached, everything looked totally fine. She could see where the hemorrhage was. And yeah, so we're still pregnant at 19 weeks, and it just sort of feels, it still sort of feels unreal. Like, the fact that my belly is growing and changing helps. And like the little flutters that have felt before are kind of helping make it a reality. But I'm really hoping that as this continues to go, like it'll just continue to be more realistic and more like we can get excited about it, because I feel like that was really heartbreaking and traumatizing for us. We also had one miscarriage right before getting pregnant with this one. So yeah, I think it's just been really hard on us. We haven't had the experience of like we got pregnant for the first time and like everything worked out beautifully and perfectly. This has been, I don't know, it's been hard, and hard to really feel like everything that's happening is realistically going to work out just fine. We're ready to kind of let it go and move forward, and hopefully seeing baby on the ultrasound again will be helpful this time, since it's going to be bigger. I really hope they don't give anything away. Okay, just some simple makeup. I put a little tiny bit of freckles on there just to be extra cute. Oh, I'm so excited, guys. I'm ready. And I'm ready early. Like, we don't even have to leave yet, and I am ready. We're also picking up some new phones today. We just set up a new account with Verizon, so I'm excited to get my hands on that. And then we're also hopefully getting a couple things for our gender reveal. Target was out of a lot of their party supplies when I went back there, and so I'll need to get a few more from somewhere else. So we're gonna, hopefully if Brian has time, go a couple places and look for the things that we need. But yeah, I'm excited to take you guys along. Just really excited to see them, the baby. Okay, see you guys later when it's more interesting. We successfully made it back from the ultrasound appointment. It went pretty good. She didn't seem like concerned about anything. It looked like it had, oh, this is super crooked. Anyways, there is nothing that was like, to me anyways, obviously wrong with it. It was moving around a whole bunch, and so that's a really great sign to me. She also saw that my placenta is on the front of me, which explains why I'm not feeling a lot of movement. I had read that previously to going to this appointment, that it's definitely possible that if your placenta's on the front that you're not going to feel quite as much movement, and that was confirmed today. So it's good to know. Brian saw it, like it was moving around a whole bunch. And Brian's like, I can't believe that you can't feel that. She did say that she wanted us to put our phones away for like the beginning of it, but that we could take them out and like film a little bit at the end. And then she never told us that we could pull our phones out, so I'm not really sure what that's about. I think that's kind of like the only bummer of it all, is just that we would have really liked to film a little bit of it for you guys and like bring you in the room with us. Also, like when she first started recording, the baby had like this beautiful profile position, and like you could see all of it and the side of its face. And then before she could take a photo, the baby rolled facing my back, and then she could not get it to roll over. So she ended up having me on my side facing her, trying to get a better angle, then like laying back on my back again to see if that would help it change positions. Then she had me go empty my bladder again, which I had already done before going in because they asked me to. So she was like, maybe that'll give me a little bit more room. I can tell that it's filling up again. So she had me go use the restroom. I came back in, and then she was like, well, let's see, hopefully like you standing up, like walking around will have helped it change its position. So she had me come back and lay on the bed and lay on my back again. And she was checking, and it was still facing toward my back. So then she had me face away from her, and she was like trying to get a good angle. So unfortunately, baby never flipped over. And so we never got a cute profile photo, but we did order a CD from them, which I'm not quite sure how we'll get transferred over. Like, it'll probably have to be through we'll have to do some research on who can put it on a flash drive for us so we can access it, because none of our computers currently have a way to access a CD or to insert a CD or anything like that. But yeah, I was really nervous, and I feel like everything went really good. She didn't give anything away. She like wrote on a card for us and gave it to us. Like, she had us sit in the waiting room, and then she came out and gave it to us and had it like taped shut really well. And she said she put a photo in the actual envelope. So we'll see. I'm super excited. The only thing that she did was, like, the second time that she was gonna go into the region where the baby's like gender would be identified, she's like, I'm gonna go back into that area, and I don't want you to see. And I was like, that may have potentially given it away when Brian and I were talking afterwards. And he's like, why is this the universal sign for like male genitalia? Yeah, I don't know, but it kind of made me think, like, is it? Or could it just be like what she was saying, like the general area? Who knows? I'm so excited to find out. Like, I feel so happy that we started planning the gender reveal ahead of time. And I mean, it only is just now coming together, like pretty last minute. Like, all this week has been last minute planning for decisions that we made over the weekend. But yeah, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that I only have to wait a couple of days to find out instead of like a couple weeks, because I feel like that would be way too hard. But I already handed over the envelope to my sister, who is going to give it to the party rental place, who's gonna set up like the gender reveal situation. So no one in my family is going to know. And that's exactly what I want. Like, I don't want anybody to know ahead of time. So I'm very, very excited to find out what it's gonna be and to see everybody's reactions. And I really hope that I can film some of it and show you guys. But yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Really, really can't wait.
Like, I got it!